For more, let's speak to our Europe editor, Armin Georgian. Hello to you, Armin. Volodymyr Zelensky once again making his presence felt, but this time it was virtual.
That's right. It was different from the last summit when he caused such a buzz by actually coming here in person, but clearly he's not taking EU support for Ukraine for granted. He's doing this diplomatic outreach, expressing gratitude to the EU for this deal that we're expecting to be signed off at this EU summit, which should make for joint procurement of ammunition to Ukraine, a deal worth 1 billion euros that will see countries jointly buy shells, which Ukraine says it needs to match Russian artillery, particularly in these artillery duels in the Donbass. So President Zelensky telling EU leaders that although he's grateful for this kind of help, that it's very important, he was saying, that these deliveries were actually going to happen on time, because any delay obviously compromises Ukraine's military positions, particularly in the east. The big guest of honor this time in actual physical presence is Antonio Guterres, the head of the United Nations, and he and the EU leaders have been talking about how they can cooperate to ease the global food crisis. They've been talking about the Black Sea Grain Initiative, for example, but one bone of contention is fertilizers, with the UN previously having said that sanctions on Belarusian fertilizer particularly should be eased in order to improve the world food situation, particularly in African countries. But some EU countries are adamant that the pressure on Belarus through these sanctions should be kept up and should not be eased. Just one very final quick point, Will. I should tell you there is a bit of a buzz here at this hour because President Macron of France arrived unusually late at this summit, and there's obviously a lot of discussion here about whether that's linked to this domestic situation that you were covering in that earlier segment, and one wonders whether this means he's going to keep a low profile at the summit, or whether he will actually make his mark when it comes to some of the other contentious issues, particularly on nuclear energy and the combustion engine and that planned phase out by 2035. We'll have a lot more for you on all of those issues and Europe's energy transition in the course of this evening.
All right, Armin, thank you very much. Armin Georgian reporting from Brussels.